Welcome, everybody. We are back with another episode of the End of Bonus podcast. I'm here with my boys. We're excited that you guys are continuing to listen, continue to check in. The feedback, the support we've been getting has been amazing across all platforms. And so, again, take a second to go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe. Give us 5 stars. Go to YouTube and subscribe. We're on Instagram and we're on Facebook. So there's no reason to not connect with us. And we look forward to that going forward. But before we get into basketball, how have you fellas been doing? What's been going on with y'all this week?
I've been good. Go ahead, Nick.
I had a good weekend. My youngest had his first birthday, so that was nice. You know, we got to eat cake, watch him smash it, and had another little boy with me, so it was cool.
Turn up. Happy birthday to Jace.
Happy birthday for sure.
Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. You go ahead, Trey.
Man, I got outdoors, man. I made sure I enjoyed myself. I went and played a round of disc golf, 18 holes. My back hurting a little now. How y'all, like, speaking of the way I'm sitting in this chair, I'm not going to show the camera, but you know how you do the little fold your leg up over? I'm sitting like that because my back hurt right now. So I had a good weekend, but I'm a little sore.
That's actually good therapy. I learned that at physical therapy, doing sitting like that helps your back somehow. I don't know how it helps, but it does help. But my weekend went well.
I ain't flexible enough.
Didn't do much. I just relaxed, chill with the family. Pretty much all I'm doing right now. What about you, Cool?
Man, what I do this weekend? I've been busy, man. It's been fun launching and just getting a little technical stuff done and getting all the pages running. So excited about that. So let's go ahead and jump into basketball. I'm gonna throw a twist at y'all. So I know.
Hold on, before you start, man. Congrats on your other podcast as well. Make sure you mention that, man. Congrats on that.
Oh yeah. Check out my other podcast, Just Another Podcast with Daryl and Will. It's on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all that good stuff. So stay connected with us. We got a lot of good stuff coming for y'all this year for sure.
Why you get so close to the mic when you said that, Dominic?
I don't know, man. I'm still getting used to it, man. New to the podcast game, bro.
He was like, yeah, y'all. I'm bringing it DJ style right here.
On week. So before we go into our first topic, I kind of hit this on my other podcast too. But I wanted to get you guys' perspective on it. So we talk about James Harden being traded to the Nets and that being a really big deal. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on general. Just the concept of like pursuing happiness and should he stay? I know a lot of times in real life, we get stuck in situations where other people think we should stay, right? And you got to balance what people say, maybe your fans, your family, the players on your team versus what you truly desire. So have you guys ever had to make any hard decisions or how do you feel in general about his decision to move teams?
I mean, honestly, he mentions that he gave Houston all he had. So, I mean, if he really truly feel that way, I don't see anything wrong with him pursuing happiness and trying to become a champion. I mean, that's the biggest thing he's trying to do is become a champion. So I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I say, with any kind of decisions I feel like I make, it's like not everybody not going to agree with what you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you, like you were saying about chasing happiness. I feel like as long as it's a decision you want to make, then you fine with it. Because imagine if you made a decision based on somebody else and you regret it. It's like, I didn't even do what I wanted to do, and now I still regret it. But if you regret it, or if it had just happened to be the wrong decision, at least you like, it was one I wanted to make. I can live with that. I can learn from that.
That's true. I concur. I feel like, hey, this is basketball. Basketball at the end of the day is a business. You have your own goals when you had a dream to go into the NBA and into the league. You shouldn't stick yourself to one place because everybody else thinks you should be there. If you want to go and chase a ring, all these other players are doing it. Go ahead and do what you got to do.
Okay. For sure. And so do you guys think ultimately his decision was enough, right? So do you guys think the Nets have what it takes to compete? Do they have the right makeup, and are they really gonna make any noise?
They are a solid team. I mean, come on, it's KD, it's Kyrie, it's Harden. We know what all of them can do individually, and it's just to make sure that they get that right formula and the good chemistry. I think if they can get that all together, then they can really pull out something big.
Go ahead, Dominique.
I feel like their biggest question is defense. I think I mentioned that on the last podcast. Defense is their biggest issue. I mean, they have Steve Nash as the first-time head coach, Mike D'Antoni that is not known for defense. I mean, they say defense win championships, so if they can't figure out defense, I doubt they can win a championship. They might make it out of the East, but the Lakers play defense, and I expect them to get out the West, so they have to figure out defense.
Number one in defense too. Make sure you say that. I feel like talent is definitely not a question when it comes to them. They got a lot of firepower, but when you put a lot in one place, sometimes it can implode if it's not stable. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just basing this off of Kyrie and the extra things that he brings, but even when you're trying to mix two like 40-point scores, because both of them legit, Harden and KD can legit average 30 in their sleep. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
It's I feel like the talent is there, but it is like to win a chip, bro, and to make it through the NBA playoffs, you got to have like cohesiveness. You got to be on the same page. You got to have defense, like Dominique was saying. So, they bench is a little sus right now. And then defense as well. So, with those scores, the talent, like Dominique said, they can make it out of the East. Personally, I don't think they're gonna make it out, but that might just be me hating too, but we'll see.
That's true. Historically, they're all not known for their defense. The three of them.
Facts. I mean, KD can strap up a little bit. Yeah,
strap up a little bit, but he's not.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the last time. I don't know what made me think of this. The last time Brooklyn tried to have a kind of like a big three. Y'all remember with like Paul Pierce? Who was on that team?
Bro,
Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams.
They tried to redo the Celtics big three, bro. It was Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and then they was adding those two to Darren Williams, who was already on the Nets, bro. And they thought that was gonna work. I forgot when did they lose in the first round or no? The second round.
I think they may have won the first round.
It was the first or second.
I think they won against the Washington or something like that.
Yeah,
but it's pretty hard to win your first year. Miami didn't win their first year. If I don't recall, I don't think Boston won their first year. I'm not 100% sure. It's pretty hard.
They did. No, they did.
It kind of remind me of senior high when all those guys teamed up together. You guys remember that?
Oh yeah, man. D-Train,
TJ Walker. They already had Tayshaun. Billy from Southwest.
Those who don't know, that's Rocky Mount Senior High.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah. They stole. I'm gonna be honest. They stole all the players from all the teams.
In the conference, right? In the same conference, right? They was all in the same conference.
No, they won the same conference because like Southwest was like a D2. I'm not even sure, but they won their first year. They
won. Yeah. So gotta give them respect. Shout out to the Griffons. Rocky Mount Senior High won the championship our senior year. So big shout outs to them. So I guess if we're kind of talking about, I know there's some mixed opinions about will they even make it out of the East, but if they do you think there'll be a matchup problem at all for the Lakers, or how do you guys see them matching up with the Lakers?
That's tough. I actually think it'll be a tough matchup for the Lakers. But I feel like LeBron kind of always can cover up two superstars he's playing against. You know what I'm saying? Like when they played the Warriors, I feel like LeBron canceled out Steph and Draymond. And then like whoever other superstars he have, like they take care of like Clay. As far as like just canceling players out and trying to win. I feel like Kyrie, Harden, and KD, that's a tough matchup for the Lakers, man. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do know the Lakers play defense. So I mean that might be the difference right there.
And they got help. Like I feel like they'll definitely cause a matchup problem, this KD and Harden. Like, I mean, nobody can really check them, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
when you talk about like a playoff series, if you heavily dependent on like two people, you don't know what can happen from game to game as far as like foul trouble.
Right.
The benefit that the Lakers have is, especially this year, that they didn't even have last year, was they got like six legit players that are scoring in double digits right now consistently. They can consistently depend on those six guys to get buckets every night. You know what I'm saying? So the Brooklyn will have to have like a spotless run through the playoffs and a playoff series to, the margin of mistakes is much slimmer than the Lakers. The Lakers got the benefit of having a deep bench.
Yeah. Do you guys think in general spacing will be an issue? As far as the style of play that they three stars have?
I feel like Kyrie and James Harden is known for ISO ball. Of course, KD came from a system in Golden State that was moving around the whole time. So I think it's more so based on the coaching staff, spreading out minutes, not keeping all three of them on the court at the same time, as well as making sure they have movement instead of just going down the court, dribble, 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 shoot. Like, at least have some movement on the backside to have the defense move around a little bit. I think that'll help.
I think the fact that they're all scorers, they'll probably draw a good bit of the defense and leave somebody open off on like the wing or something.
I feel like the benefit is like, it's kind of opposite with LeBron. Like when teams are trying to match up against LeBron, you don't want LeBron to get his teammates going. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with scores like Harden and KD, you want somebody else to beat you, because them passing, they don't necessarily want to pass, and them racking up all them assists, getting off their offensive game to start just because they like scores first will throw them off their game. LeBron is a pass first player, so he thinks about getting his 20 like in the third and fourth. He wants to get his teammates going first. So the spacing, I feel like I'm gonna make somebody else hit shots. Like, yeah, you come in the paint, we're in help. You gonna have to kick it out. You gonna have to kick it out.
That's real. That's real. But before we jump to the next question, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, welcome back to the In the Bonus Podcast. We're excited to be back. We got Larry, who just joined us. Larry, we did a little quick intro at the beginning. How's your week been, man?
Weekend was decent. Nothing too much. I don't do much with my homebody for the most part. It was good.
Hey, man, turn your mic up a little bit. Kind of hard to hear you.
Okay. But it was good overall. Yeah.
Good. So we just finished talking a little bit about James Harden joining the Nets, and we talked about the Lakers. And now I want to just shift to what James Harden left behind in Houston. And so there's a new group of players with John Wall, Oladipo, and Woods who are coming together. So what are you guys' thoughts on that team, and are they in a stage where they can actually compete this season?
I feel like the biggest question for that team is Oladipo, Wall, and Cousins, because they all coming off injuries. So can they stay healthy for a full season is the biggest question for me. I feel like Woods is, like I said, one of the biggest pickups in the offseason. So I feel like that's a great pickup. But then another question I have is, why are they starting P.J. Tucker and Christian Woods? I feel like Cousins probably should be starting with Woods. But I mean, they got a pretty solid team. Their biggest problem is that they started out slow with all that James Harden commotion going on. But I feel like they can get back on track and maybe get like a 7th or 8th seed, make it to like a play-in game. That's the most I can see them doing this season.
The Rockets are missing the playoffs this year, fellas. That's what's gonna happen.
I agree.
First off, I'm hearing that Oladipo doesn't even want to be in Houston. He still wants to make his way to Miami. So they in the Houston has to work out that situation. But absolutely no disrespect. It's from the home team, from Raleigh, my man John Wall. But does this Houston team right now look much different from like peak years in Washington
Very
and
different.
some of the talent that he has? I feel like they slightly better, but it's not enough to make noise in the Western Conference.
True, true.
So
And
you
just
can't
to,
see him getting to a play-in game at all, like 8th or 9th seed.
11, 10 maybe, like low.
And just to kind of tie this back into our lives, so we actually had the opportunity to be playing basketball when John Wall was in high school. Do you guys ever remember watching John Wall play?
Yeah.
Watch him all the
He
time.
was
One
the
of the
most
fastest.
exciting. He's the most exciting hoop mixtape player to this day. He probably still has the most views.
You
One
know,
of the fastest point guards I've seen go end to end in high school ever.
I was more like, I don't want to say like scared, but like more intimidated by CJ Leslie back then when they was on that team. Just cause I mean, like of course Wall was like Dominique saying, like fast from end to end, dunking, but CJ Leslie was like a hybrid player back then. Like the man was like 6'10" and still moved like a guard, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, if you mention other players on that team, I was more scared of Bishop Daniels dunking on everybody.
yeah, that was a very athletic team at
Yeah.
word of God, bro.
For real, for real. And then this is a random side note. Did y'all see Victor Oladipo and the Masked Singer?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was doing his
Yeah.
thing, man.
He actually sounded pretty decent.
Yeah.
Bro, I think his name was like Thingamajig. So shout out to all the singing athletes out there listening to the podcast. Any of y'all boys sing at all?
You know, I do my thing.
Go ahead.
A
do
little
something.
bit.
Go ahead,
you know.
go ahead and
Want to,
sing a little
yeah.
something.
Nah,
Just
not
a little
today,
bit.
not
Go ahead,
today,
go
man.
ahead.
You got to
Go
pay
ahead.
for that. You got to pay for that. But the
So,
biggest
I mean-
thing, man, we can get back to Houston, man. I feel like they might not make it because it's a 72 game season, man. So maybe.
Get out of here! You just said they would get a seven
I'm
seed.
saying.
How you go from saying
Yeah,
they get
but I'm
seven
saying
seed?
though,
Then
thinking
he said
about
11,
10
12.
games, that's a big deal. So I mean, that could be the reason why they
Nah,
don't
Trey
make it
said
in.
11, 12.
But I mean, I'm hoping for the best. I think they have a good chance of making 7th or 8th seed, or maybe 9th
Okay,
seed.
that's all I'm asking is you keep that
Yeah,
energy.
I
Don't
get
be
that.
like
I
they
mean, I'm
might
keeping
not
that
make
energy, man. But I'm like, maybe those 10 games might make a big difference.
But if they do make it, I told you.
Of course, most definitely. We're gonna come
If they
back.
make
to
it,
this.
I'm gonna root for them.
Hey. If they make it, they're gonna lose to the Lakers in the first round.
Yeah, they might well just not make it.
That is true. I have no issue with that.
True. So I mean, a lot of people probably think they won't make it because they don't have like a phenomenal, or leading scorer in the league. So that kind of helps us transition to the next topic. Who do you guys see, or who would be your top 5 scorers currently in the NBA?
Ooh, this is gonna be good right here.
So who wants to go first? Larry, you should go first. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, you got here late. Go ahead.
Bradley Beal.
Okay. Well, all right, is this in order or is this just 5 in general?
It ain't
No,
order.
we don't got to go in order. Just,
Okay.
you're
All
fine.
right.
KD, Steph, and as of now, I feel like I'm in between with this decision, but no, I'm not. James Harden, and last, I don't know. It's hard for the last one because I'm in between 2 people. I don't know, I'm gonna give it to. I don't know. It's a toss up.
Between who?
I'm gonna give you 4.
Oh, okay. So who? So your 4. So you said KD, Beal, Curry, and who was the last person?
Y'all about to be mad, but I'm gonna say it. I want to put Brandon Ingram in there.
Oh, he said Harden. Harden was the last person. You said Brent. Go ahead and make that your 5th then. Why?
Hey,
Why
man,
you?
252 on, man, but
Man,
I ain't rocking with it.
That man,
I ain't rocking with it.
Getting buggies. He's been doing it. Hey, if you watch most of the Pelican games, like you can see him transitioning into taking over that team as his own. That's his team. And like, I don't know, maybe because of the game I was just watching recently, maybe. But they're my choices. Not in that order though.
I mean, he get buckets, but you think he's an elite scorer? We talking about the top 5 best scorers in the NBA currently means you're an elite scorer. You think Brandon Ingram is an elite scorer?
I do.
I don't. I mean, do you guys think I need to?
He does everything the vets do. He knows how to draw fouls. He gets and ones. He does it. He's on the floor. He's grinding. He do it.
You got to at least be like a 3-level scorer, though. This man can't shoot threes. Not saying he can't knock them down, but he's not a consistent 3-point shooter.
Ooh, I see some disagreement from Dominique.
Go ahead.
I can't. He's a much improved 3-point shooter. He's improved
the fact that you got to say much improved. Everybody on my list ain't no question, ain't no improved. They get buckets from the 3-point line.
You saying Brandon Ingram?
I respect it, but
you saying he ain't no killer from the 3-point line? Is what you saying?
No, I'm saying he's not a consistent shooter from the 3-point line.
He probably shoot better from 3 from one of those guys you mentioned in that category.
But I mean, you could be a great scorer. You could be a great scorer and not shoot threes, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like
Dwayne Wade was definitely
it's all about buckets. At the end
but
of the
I feel
day.
like to be an elite scorer, especially right now, we talking about currently top 5. You got to be a 3-level scorer, bro.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on my list is definitely a
game recently. He didn't shoot no 3.
No, I'm gonna say my 5 scores. Right, Harden, Devin Booker, Giannis. I'm gonna say Curry and Bradley Beal.
Giannis shouldn't even be in this conversation.
No. Why not?
Why?
He does one thing. He just dunked.
It don't matter.
Giannis
had 1,857 buckets.
Trey, I agree with what you're saying, but I was just saying that Brandon Ingram can at least score from 3, like all 3.
Bro, in terms of volume,
so Brandon Ingram's a better scorer than Giannis.
So let me interject real quick. So according to Google, a scorer is a person who scores goals, points, or etc. So we're not talking about top 3-point shooter.
Right.
We're not talking about 2-way players. We're not talking about post players. We're talking about flat out top 5 scorers in the league. If the ball goes through the bucket, that's all that matters.
If that man jumped from the 3-point line and slam on your head, it don't matter. He got the bucket.
Yeah, that's wild that they say.
Yeah, there's no way I'm putting him in the
they're saying a man that averaged 34 is not a better scorer than Brandon Ingram. That's wild right there. If you taking out the 3-point conversation,
I'm not gonna say better scorer, but we're talking about pure scorer, bro.
Exactly. Like, what's pure about Brandon Ingram?
I mean, Brandon Ingram's not on my list. I wouldn't put him on my list at all. But I'm just saying he's a much improved 3-point shooter. That's all I was saying earlier. You want to go next?
But you just said he's a better scorer than Giannis, though.
Yes. I would. At the end of the game, who would you get the ball to?
Giannis. I'll just hope he get.
Giannis can't even shoot free throws. How you can get the ball?
I hope he missed a dunk. At least I know he can stretch over everybody else.
Giannis cannot shoot a free throw. I'm gonna foul him on purpose so he can shoot free throws.
He'll get the and one. He'll get the and one first, bro. That's wild. This man averaged 30. He averaged 30 and 15 rebounds.
I don't care what he averaged. What happens to him in the playoffs?
We talking about scoring.
Smack.
I'm just saying, all right, but this energy that you giving Giannis, you need to give to Brandon Ingram. That's all I'm saying, because neither one.
So you rather have Giannis?
Okay, I'm fine with that, but I wouldn't even put.
Get closer to the mic, bro.
Let me say this. Can I say one thing? I wouldn't even put Giannis in a scorers category at all. Of course, he averaged a lot of points. That's fine, but elite scorer, he's not in that category.
All right, so I think we are infringing on another category. We are not talking about the 5 most clutch players in the NBA.
Facts, right, bro. They talking about buckets, putting the ball in the bucket.
About the
quantity.
Top 5 who gets buckets, right? We can talk about clutch players on another day.
Literally talking about the quantity.
Let me say this one thing before Trey goes.
Quality of the bucket.
Let me say this before Trey goes. If any of our audience that knows basketball, we say score, who's a scorer? We're not putting Giannis in that category at all. Elite scorers, Giannis is not that.
Let us know in the comments, man. Y'all, Dominique is determined. Let us know in the comments what y'all think.
I'm gonna say this:
2-time MVP, 34 points a game. Is that not count as being a top scorer in the league? Let us know.
He said, "Nah, he don't care. He don't care. He average 30. It don't matter,
You see that he ain't shooting threes or free throws. Oh well,
bro."
All right, Trey, who you got?
All right, my list. KD. I got KD on the list. Bradley
solid.
Beal. That man averaging 30.
That's three people.
I got Steph Curry. I got Luka.
Okay.
And you ready for the last one? I would. The ball. If Dominique, if you want to get into clutch too, I would put the ball in this man's hand this season before I put it in Brandon Ingram's hands.
Man.
And the last person on my list is that guy out of Chicago, Zach LaVine.
Bro, you know what's crazy? We got. I think we had the same exact list, bro. What's your 5 again? Say it again.
KD, Bill, Curry, Luka, and LaVine.
Only person I don't have is Luka. I got Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, KD, Bradley Beal,
Devin over Luka. Okay.
And Stephen Curry. The only problem I have with Doncic is that his usage rate is so high. So that's what makes him score a lot of points. I don't think he's like an elite scorer.
He just be having the ball the whole game.
Yeah, he just had the ball the whole game.
I can agree with that. But yeah, bro.
Zach LaVine is a bucket though. Like he's so underrated. He's probably the most underrated scorer in the league, but he can score from any part of the floor.
Very much.
And with his range and his athleticism, he's scary, bro. If he gets out of Chicago, he's gonna make some noise for a good team.
Bro, get him to LA, man. Get him to LA right now.
Brandon Ingram, the most underrated scorer in the league.
So I'm gonna read off. I'm gonna read off real quick just for some stats purposes who are actually leading and scoring right now in the league. So I'm gonna read off the top 10. Should I start at 10 or start at 1?
Start at 10.
10.
All right. So number 10 is Giannis.
How much?
He's currently averaging 26.6 points per game.
Buckets.
Number 9 is CJ McCollum. So CJ McCollum from the Portland Trail Blazers, 26.7. Number 8, Jason Tatum at 26.9. Number 7, Zach LaVine at 26.9 as well.
You're a monster.
Number 6 is Kyrie Irving. He's at 27.1 points per game.
Don't do that, Trey. Don't do that, Trey.
He done missed the last 7 games though. That's so how many? What's that averages out of like 8 games, bro? Get out of here.
Don't do that. Though.
Yeah. Also, his games played at 7.
Yeah, bro.
Dame Lillard is number 5.
You said Dame.
Yes.
Keep going, cool. Keep going.
Yeah. So Dame Lillard is number 5 with 27.6. Number 4 is Luka. He's at 28.3. Number 3 is Steph Curry at 28.4 points per game. Okay. Number 2 is KD. He's right at 30.7 points per game. And then number 1 is Bradley Beal at 34.9 points per game.
Bro, all that sound good. You know, I didn't hear somebody on that list though. Did Larry? Did you hear Brandon Ingram on that list?
It didn't say go to Google or wherever and look up stats and see who the better scorer is. The top ones, it say who you feel like are great scorers in this league today.
Okay,
that is a good point.
Can we all agree that KD is the best scorer?
Right. Yes, I agree with that.
He can score anywhere. Don't matter.
I agree with that.
And just go ahead. Go ahead, Trey.
I guess, yeah. No, yeah.
Yes.
I guess.
And Brandon Ingram is on the list though. Just to clarify, he's number 21. At 23.3.
21.
at 23.3 points. But I mean, you got to think. I guess you can't really extract it like that. But that's only 7 points from being at the top. So
you know what? That's really
out of curiosity, where does all the stars from LA fall in that list? Like both the Clippers and the Lakers. So like AD, Kawhi, Paul George, are they under that 21?
So Paul George is 16. Kawhi Leonard is 18. LeBron is 19.
That's not bad.
I don't see nobody else.
Brandon,
Oh,
Brandon
Anthony
LeBron
Davis.
passed first.
Anthony
So.
Davis is 34.
Okay, yeah, Anthony Davis, he done had some low scoring games this year.
Yeah, and it only go
All
to
that
the
matters
top
they
50.
win though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
Best record in the league.
But I would say, Dominique, the only I was going back and forth with Curry, because like you talk about saying KD like the best scorer. It's like the unstoppable aspect of it. Like he can just raise up and shoot whenever he want, like mid range. But I'll equate that to if Curry cross half court, like
Yeah.
he might can launch that joint.
Yeah, I agree.
But KD, I'll say KD is more consistent because he did. Curry did have that 1 for 10 game this year, so that messed him up right there.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of y'all decision making definitely went into style of play. So let's kind of talk about kind of what your personal style of play is as a player. Your leisure time, as well as what do you prefer to watch when looking at the game.
What you mean as far as the second part? Like
So like how do you play personally, and then when you're watching the game, like if you was going to create your player on 2K, how would you want him to play, and kind of what style would you prefer?
I'll go. First off, I was above the rim. I used to try to touch the top of the backboard. Sight, no, I'm joking. I'm definitely a spot up shooter, bro. I run to the 3-point line. I want to fire that joint. That's it. And it's funny because on like if I was like when I create my player on 2K, complete opposite. I don't like. I want you to strap up to play defense, and I want you to be athletic. You know what I'm saying? But so that's what. And then like when I'm just watching too, it's still like the shooter in me to kind of watch how people are moving off the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people you'll watch the point guard bring the ball up and stuff. I'm looking at everybody else too, you know what I'm saying? And seeing what shooters are doing, how they're getting open and how they get into their spots.
You can go there. You can go.
Me. I was a spot up shooter too. I did a lot more. Not a lot more, but a little more. I ain't settle for the shot all the time because, like, we all have we shooters. We have our off days, off games, or whatnot. So if my shot not working, I'm driving. And I ain't gonna lie, I probably should have kicked more because I used to do some stupid stuff until I got better. Drive into 5 people, might get the bucket, might not. Most of the time I got it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of game that I like to see as far as NBA aspect. That's what I like.
What do you come? Yeah,
that's what excites me. That's why I'm more drawn to it. That's why early in I feel like that's what Brandon Ingram does. But
go with Brandon Ingram.
It's all full circle.
Yeah, we like. Of course, as hoopers, we like everything we see in basketball. We like the dunks, we like the passes, we like the shots, we like all of that. We like the plays, everything. The defensive plays, we like all of that. But we have certain things that we're more drawn to instead of being drawn to everything. We have more specific things that we like. But that's what I like. That's what I do. So.
I think Dominique, you'll be able to give a new perspective on what it's like to watch the game from the bench.
Yeah. I was the complete opposite of what you guys did. I was not a shooter. I have no shame in saying it. But first of all, I was a great defender. Always defended the best player on the court. Am I right or wrong?
Okay. That was your assignment, yeah.
Yeah. I also
defended is a different word.
Defender.
I said defended was that's a different story. But that was your assignment was the best person on the floor for sure.
After that, my post up game was pretty strong. Slashing game was strong. I get to run whenever I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And what I like to watch, like I can give you a player I love to watch. I love to watch somebody like Marcus Smart. He plays great defense. He gets his teammates involved off the pick and roll. He just plays hard. That was my biggest thing. I think I just play really hard. That's why I stay on the floor. I just play harder than most people. So, I mean, that's me and what I love to watch. What about you, Cool?
For me, I'm a big boy. So you know where I was at on the court. You know, so I was just out there hustling, trying to get as many rebounds as I can when these jokers miss, man. That's all I was trying to clean up when I could.
These jokers miss.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't miss.
Yeah, coach, I ain't gonna lie, coach held me back. I ain't never get to face up to the basket and go to work, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I just run to the block.
You saying there was never a play call for you to get the ball on the block?
No, not really. It was kind of like based on where it wasn't no play for me. It was a rotation. We swing it. You know what I'm saying? You get on the block. Y'all know how it is. Cross the paint every now and then, but most of the time y'all used to shoot it. If we're gonna be honest, I don't know
if you joking or not, but I agree with you. I think Coach did hold you back,
bruh.
My personal opinion,
bro. I could have been better, man.
I mean, but you look at like, all right, be honest, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate 10 being the best and like effort and stuff? How would you rate your rim running, like off misses? Rim running,
like going end to end.
Yeah.
Like from defense to offense, run. Did you run your hardest?
Get out of here, y'all know. Come on now. First off, I hustle, son. Look, we kind of talked our first episode about all the seniors and stuff our junior year. I started a lot of games senior year just because I outworked everybody. So I mean, I work hard. I just want naturally tall or naturally skilled. So I ain't even gonna front like I was out there killing on people.
But your IQ was higher than other people who played your position. Though.
That's true. So I mean,
that's why you was outworking them physically and mentally.
So I mean, we didn't really tell the audience. Like we just told the audience what we did. What position did y'all play?
Yeah, so I usually play center most of the time or power forward, depending on which year it was.
I was like a 2 or 3.
I played 2 and 3, mostly the 2.
Yeah, I played a 3 and a 4. Then coach tried to move me to the 1 at one point in time before we got Miles, and that was pretty fun.
I was in the concession stand.
You was doing the what you were saying the other episode
on the
clock. That was at practices though, man. Yeah. But I was in the concession stand when we was at home.
Eating all the snacks.
Getting the snacks. Trey mama hooking me up with the snacks, man.
Facts.
You remember that one time at homecoming when you ran on the court?
I do remember that. Who were we playing? What was it, Weldon?
Nah, it wasn't Weldon. It was, I don't know who it was. It was homecoming.
It was one of them other charter schools. God, I can't think of the name. And I'll never forget because this guy Dominique was got into it one of the dudes on the court, and I saw somebody run on the court, so I ran up on the court. They kicked me out the gym.
For a couple
they
games,
told me I couldn't come back, but I just came back one day and just sat down.
Hoodlums, man. Well, Nick, all right. So what would you say then, like Nick, if you obviously like you didn't play like when we played, what's your favorite like aspect of the game? Like when you see a player, like what's your favorite skill set in basketball then?
I'll tell you right now, I love somebody who plays the perimeter, can't go in for the drive, but it's the person with the handles, man. Like Kyrie is on players, and he's that guy that just got them crazy handles. It's like he got that ball on the string, and you just can't take it away. And I'm not the tallest guy. I'm 5'10", 5'11". So when I see somebody who's undersized, like a guard, that's kind of what I look like. Like if I could translate their skills to me, what could I do? You know what I mean? So I look up to that more than somebody who's 6'8", 7 foot. I mean, like, yeah, I think that's cool to see, but bro, I'm never gonna be that tall.
Ain't that wild? Do you think Steph Curry is small?
He's a smaller guy, but he's what is he like?
He's
how tall is he?
6'4".
He's 6'4". 6'4". Ain't that wild?
Yeah.
It don't seem like it, but he is that tall. Yeah.
To even equate to you, you would have to go to like Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Isaiah Thomas.
He'd be like 5'9", but yeah.
Yeah. Or
y'all. Let's do throwback. Yeah, Earl Boykins. That's exactly what I was about to say, Larry. That's a throwback right there.
Yeah, because I'm, because like what? How tall is everybody?
I'm like
I'm
6.
5'11", 6 feet.
Yeah, I'm like 6.5 inches.
I'm like 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah,
I'm really
Stop
In
the
the
fit.
league
cap.
right now, Trey, pure shooter.
Stop the cap.
Nah, I'm 6'2". The last time I went to the doctor.
Are you? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Were you Larry?
I got my, I don't know what my license at. I got on
Almost 6'1".
Yeah, bro. I'm 5'10", 5'11". So hey,
some big boys. Pause.
I'm 250 though. Hey, shout out to
See, I'm not putting that out there. I would not disclose my
shout
weight.
out to Muscle Mash. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
We doing body measurements. Everybody stand up right now. We about to do body measurements.
I can't. I ain't gonna stand up right now.
Hey, man, move on, man. We going on a tangent, man.
Everybody don't got on pants, huh?
That's the real reason.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I came home, I rushed into the shower, I threw this shirt on, man.
And that's it.
Hey, no. I got bottoms on, bro. Chill.
Sorry, we know how the
So-
Zoom meetings go.
So, but hopefully though, we definitely we haven't really talked about this, y'all. So I might be surprising the fellas, but I'm hoping one day we can actually shoot an episode in the gym. You can kind of see us on the court, interact, maybe even get some open gym action if the pandemic can slow down. Eventually. But we're gonna take
don't nobody want to watch geriatric basketball, man.
Hey man,
we all getting up to. It's like, no, I'm joking. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good time. But we're gonna take a quick break. We got a new segment coming up called Start, Bench, and Cut, and we'll be back with that in just a second.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the In the Bonus podcast. We're gonna do a new segment called Start, Bench, Cut. Start, bench, cut is when you come up with 3 players. You're gonna decide who you want to start, bench, or cut. So this week is on me. My 3 players is Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, and Trae Young. So, cool, you can go first this time. Who you think?
Oh, that's tough. I think I'm gonna have to start Ja Morant. I'm a bench De'Aaron Fox, and I'm a cut Trae Young. And the reason I say this is because just my style of play, man. I don't like point guards that shoot first. Never liked it. I ain't like when we played back in the day. Don't like it now. So if I was a coach, I mean, it wouldn't do me no good because that ain't how I would coach my team. So that's what I would do.
What you think, Nick?
That's actually funny. That's my same. I like the way Ja Morant plays. Good all around player, athletic as hell. De'Aaron Fox, I honestly haven't been paying attention to him, to be honest. So I'll just say bench him. And Trae Young, because he allowed a rookie to get up like that on him. Melo. Yes, I said Melo, not LaMelo. Melo, like, you've been in this league, bro. And you let him get them stats on you like that. So cut him.
What you think, Larry?
We'll talk about that when we're done with this. But I would definitely start Ja, bench De'Aaron, and cut Trae. But I don't like point guards who I mean, it's nice and all. He get buckets. Don't get me wrong. He get his team involved sometimes, but if it was consistent, he would definitely be my starter in this 3-man lineup. He'll definitely be my starter. But as of now, like, no, I ain't cool with that because Trae Young has lived by the 3, but he also have died by the 3. When he was down by the 3, if he had other aspects of his game that was better, he would have been doing all right. If he was passing more, getting his team involved more, that would have compensated for him killing himself by the 3-point line. So, hey, shout out to Trae Young, solid still.
What you think, Trae?
So I'm gonna start De'Aaron Fox, just because it's size. I feel like the other two are really undersized, so I would start De'Aaron. But y'all disrespectful to Trae Young. I'm benching him, and I love Ja, bro, but y'all not for the reason because he shoot, bro, but I feel like Trae Young is probably the best passer out of them three. It might be a toss, but I feel like he the best passer. And then, Ja got all that athleticism, and I feel like he's still gonna be a stud like for years to come, all-star, all that. But I just don't want all that wildness right now. He might get hurt. If you can get buckets from 34 feet out, do that. I'd rather you shoot from there than hurt yourself driving to the rim.
You want that longevity.
For sure.
All right, so
And I mean,
my fault. Go ahead. You still talking? My fault.
nah, you go ahead. I was just gonna say, just because it's playmaking, bro. Like Trae Young has had multiple double-digit assist games too. So I mean, it might be because they not playing nobody, but we'll see this year too, just because he got a better squad this year, and he learning from Rondo. So
yeah, true that. This is gonna kind of go into the next segment, but for me doing research on just like traditional point guards, things like that, it kind of made me change my mind, and I'm going to actually pick Trae Young to start, even though I love Ja Morant. I'm gonna bench Ja Morant, and I'm gonna cut Fox. And our next segment, we're going to talk about can a traditional point guard actually win. And I want you guys to actually think about the last traditional point guard to win. So like a traditional point guard to be like Chris Paul or like John Stockton or
Right.
I guess like Jason Kidd or let me see. Today it'd probably be
Steve
somebody
Nash.
somebody. I guess today somebody would be like Lonzo. So when the last traditional point guard that you could think of actually won? For me, it was like Jason Kidd with the Mavs, but he wasn't even the number one player on the team. So the question is, can a traditional point guard win a championship?
I mean, what about Steph Curry?
Last one.
He's not.
Steph is a shoot
So-
first point
So most
guard,
people
though.
think of a traditional point guard as like a pass first point guard. Like you remember we had Miles on our team back in the day. He's kind of like a traditional point guard. You think of like Jay. I think Jay was more of a scorer in my opinion. So like I mean,
and so you saying the last one to win a actual championship? Or
yeah,
just
like
have,
no,
success?
as like a number one or number two on the team. I can't think of one.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, Magic Johnson is the last one.
I-
That's how far back I gotta think.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I
And
do
Magic
think
Johnson
that
Johnson really isn't a true point guard because he played every position. So the
But
question is,
he was a true point guard though. Like he didn't want to shoot. He didn't want to
Yeah.
shoot. No matter what position he played, like and defended, he was playmaking for everybody else.
I mean, I can understand that. So the question is, can a traditional point guard win a championship?
I
So
don't
y'all
think so.
don't think it's Rondo? He wasn't last. I feel like he.
Nah, because he was the fourth. He was the fourth.
Yeah,
best
I
player
mean,
on
so
his
I mean,
team.
I feel you on that too.
He talking about
Larry.
like
as like a number,
championship
like as a
last-
number one, number two player.
yeah,
He's saying the last person to win as a number one or two option.
yeah.
Can't
But
think
I
of many.
mean, could you?
But I mean, how are they? If they passing first, how are they going to be a number one option?
That's a good question, but
That's
you
what I was
think
thinking.
of the New Jersey Nets with Jason Kidd and who was the number one player? Jason Kidd, correct? Or you think of the Clippers when they had Chris Paul, who's the number one option? Chris Paul. I mean, I would think he's the number one of the team, in my opinion.
Well, then I mean, to answer the question, like just no, because them being the number one option, you still when you not shooting and you trying to play make, I feel like you at least need like another all-star caliber player besides you. That's a wing player or a big man.
Right, because Chris Paul definitely had why am I his name?
Blake Griffin.
Come on.
Yeah,
Oh,
Blake
yes,
Griffin,
sir.
Andre
Good
Jordan.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake Griffin. I mean, when he was, yeah.
I mean, he had Harden. I mean, even though Harden was the number one option, but he was number two on that team, and I feel like they could have went to the
I
championship.
mean, they had a chance to win, but Chris Paul was hurt in that game 7, I think. So
They were too small.
that playing small actually helped, though. That
They
playing
only
small
get you so
actually
far,
helped him
though.
out.
So no, I think the traditional point guard is out. I feel like your point guard has to be a whole lot more dynamic if they want to be that number one or number two spot.
I
Besides
agree.
Lonzo,
After doing so much research on it and looking back, you kind of have to be a scorer, which makes me feel like what coaches teach us is wrong. Like you should be as aggressive as you can at that position. Like you know how like you see coaches as they look at the point guard and say you need to pass more, but I feel like the point guard need to be more aggressive to get his teammates open.
it's like they put a limit on their play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel
But
like
besides
they
Lonzo, do
score
y'all
first?
think is any other traditional point guards out there?
Currently, right now,
Chauncey.
he's talking about like current. He's talking about like currently though.
Current.
I mean, honestly, I think so. I think Lonzo and LaMelo both pass first point guards. LaMelo can score, but he definitely wants to pass the ball first.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I can't think of many pass first point guard. I mean, of course, Chris Paul, but I mean, Chris Paul is older. But like people that are like coming up these days, I mean, I kind of think Ja likes to pass first, but he's just so dynamic that people will look past his passing. So I don't know.
Okay.
What about Kyle Lowry?
I don't even know what position Kyle Lowry plays. To be honest, I know he a point guard, but bro, it's weird.
He's not a passer.
I'm not about to disrespect him and act like he shouldn't be in the NBA, but like it just seems like he shouldn't be in the NBA. Like for everything, like from build to like skill set, it's just weird, is it not? Like he's not the most athletic person, but he don't like. It's just weird. He's a good leader. I'll say that he has like good leadership skills, but I don't see it.
I look at him as
No, go ahead.
I look at him as like a Pat Beverly on steroids that can shoot a lot better off the dribble. Like he's a little gnat. Like you seen him in that All-Star game, the last All-Star game, he was just aggravating, a pest on defense. But he's not a traditional point. He's not a pass first point guard. I don't know. He does some of everything. He's a good leader though. I will give him that. So I don't really know if he's a pass first point guard.
True. I
feel like he's defensive minded as a point guard. Like
he's definitely defensive minded. Yeah, he's defense first.
Yeah, so he's not traditional either.
What was you gonna say, Cool?
No, I was just gonna say, so like Tony Parker, would that be a good example of somebody that's pass first?
Yes.
I mean, Ginobili and Duncan was getting all the buckets.
Me personally, I don't think he's a pass first point guard, but I mean that's just me. I felt like he was trying to get a bucket first. I don't remember Tony Parker leading the league in assists anytime in his career. He probably averaged maybe 6 or 7 assists at the most.
Pretty good.
Ginobili passed the ball better than Tony Parker.
I thought we were talking about current though.
I mean, we were, but he just brought Tony Parker up.
I just asked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So let's shift to the next topic. Are there any teams currently in the league that has surprised you guys, whether that's they've overperformed or been underwhelming as far as performance? Has any team really caught you guys by surprise?
Me personally, I feel like the Knicks have been doing their thing this year. RJ Barrett and Julius Randle been balling out of their mind. I call them the left-hand assassins. They both left-handed. Mitchell Robinson been controlling the paint. So they've been playing pretty well. I think they're above 500. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen the Knicks be above 500. So they made the playoffs. That's a big deal for them. So they overachieving for me. But then like the team that's underachieving for me is the Raptors. Like the Raptors normally be in the top 4 seeds. This year I think they're probably like number 12 in the East. I don't know what's going on with Siakam or Larry or Van Fleet, but they playing terrible this year. Their defense isn't looking good. So that's my 2 teams that I have.
I'll probably say Charlotte. Charlotte been like finally looking like they have life, and I can credit that to LaMelo too. But you just like watching them, they look like they having fun playing basketball right now. All the highlights, Bridges, and of course LaMelo playing well. PJ Washington out here getting doubles like he should.
Devontae Graham, solid.
Graham picking up where he left off last year. So I feel like it's before like Charlotte could be considered like a joke, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if I'm going to Charlotte, like I'm going there for the check. We gonna lose every game anyway. But they seem like they enjoy playing this season. So I say that's been my biggest surprise probably.
Larry, what you think?
I mean, I agree with Trey. Like Charlotte, I ain't think there was, like you said, joke every year. But this year, like, it's different. And I credit it to Melo as well. Like, I feel like the whole team is playing better. Like, I don't know what it is, but like he gets in there and he gets a lot of people involved. Like, that's why his assists be like through the roof for the most part. Like, it's easy for him to get people involved for some reason. I don't know what he does. Like, that's way different, but he's doing it. But yeah. But the team that I would expect to be doing more, I feel like Boston can do more. I feel like they're doing okay, but I feel like they can do more.
Where they sitting at right now though? Ain't they number 1 seed in the East? Yeah. 2? Oh yeah. And then I mean, but you got to think about I think like 3 of their games got postponed too because of COVID. So they ain't even been able to like catch no real rhythm, but they still up at number 2. So I think the Celtics gonna be fine.
You know me, you know how I feel like it's gonna be Boston in the Nets. Like, who's gonna be the ones to beat in the East anyway. So.
Yeah, I just want to mention somebody on Charlotte you guys didn't mention. Gordon Hayward has been a big acquisition as well.
He ain't playing well enough as much as he got paid.
He got a big check. I mean, but you got to pay to get somebody to Charlotte. But he's definitely played a big role in their success as well.
But he just came back not too long ago, right? Did he miss the first couple games?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, maybe he did, but I seen him when I look at his stats. He be balling.
Well, he's another person that has a problem staying healthy.
Yeah. So I know we kind of talked about some teams that are underwhelming and underperforming. What are your thoughts? And I'm not really up to date on it, but like, what are your thoughts on the Heat? I know they're currently 12 in the East, but they just came from the finals. Was last year just a one-time thing, or is there a little run over?
It's tough. Being that it's my team, I honestly haven't watched a lot of Miami this year, but like I think they lost a lot of defensive players. That's one big issue. Like I think Derrick Jones Jr. was a great defender. I feel like Jay Crowder was a great defender, and I mean I think that's part of it. I feel like they'll get back on their feet though. I honestly don't know what's going on with that organization right now, but it's Miami, so they'll find a way.
They just don't look the same. They don't look the same, bro. I don't know. I read some like article about, Bam going off on people like they effort on defense and stuff too, like you were saying. So I don't know, man. Jimmy be talking that talk though, so he gonna have to walk it again. If they don't make it to the finals, it's bust for them. They done set the bar too high.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then so last thing for the day. Who do you guys got going to the finals this year? What's your prediction?
Lakers.
Lakers versus who?
Nets.
Lakers versus Nets. So Larry, what you got, Dominique?
I'm actually gonna go. This might surprise people. I'm gonna go Lakers, Sixers.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. Lakers, Sixers.
I think Ben Simmons is gonna, with Doc Rivers and B, I think they're gonna make some noise this season.
Okay. What about you, Nick?
They win that last game?
What game?
The Sixers.
I think they did. Yeah, they did.
I didn't finish watching it. Okay. Of course, I think the Lakers are gonna go to the finals. I just think the talent is there. I think the excellence is there. I think they have prolific scorers, excellent defenders.
Okay.
They have a wonderful roster. They got people coming off the bench that'll drop a bucket on you.
They deep, man.
And I'm gonna say the Nets, like, I'm gonna agree with Larry. I think the Nets are gonna go because one, as y'all know, I love Kyrie, bro. Like, even though he went to Duke, but two, they got KD and they got Harden. KD got championship in his blood. Harden's hungry. I feel like they are gonna be able to cohese and bring it out of them. I honestly do. I think they might be able to get it to the end. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, yeah, it's gonna be those two.
All right, who you got, Trey?
I got the Lakers and the C's in the finals. Old tradition. It's only right that the Lakers are going to beat the all-time championship record against the team they're tied with in the finals this year. The Celtics. The Celtics are going to beat the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games.
Timestamp that, y'all.
Yeah,
sir.
Yeah, I feel like the Nets are going to come in too overconfident, man.
Rely on
the Clippers did against Denver. Like, I feel like they expect to be given to them. I think it's not going to be as easy as they expect. That's why I picked the Sixers. But I mean,
I feel like the C's are disappointed in what happened last year with Miami. So I don't think their focus will be a problem this year in this playoffs.
You don't think James Harden is hungry enough to step it up after all this smack that's been talked about him? You don't think that Kyrie isn't going to want to show up and prove out?
I don't think they play defense.
Not Kyrie, but yeah, like KD and Harden are going to show up, but that's not going to be good enough. I don't think.
All right, so only time is going to tell. We're going to keep an eye on it. But we thank you guys for tuning in again for another episode of In the Bonus Podcast. Make sure you get on Apple Podcasts and give us 5 stars and subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Follow us all personally. Let's give out our personal info real quick. Let's start with you, Larry. Let the people know where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on IG, King Conscious, and that's about it.
All right, what about you, Nick?
Y'all can find me on IG at Nick the Neighbor. I don't really get on Twitter, so y'all ain't got to worry about that. Maybe next time.
Domo?
You can find me on IG at Dominique.Hayes.
That sounds so smooth, bro. You can find me on IG at East Trey Official.
Yeah, and I'm on IG as well at Daryl Devon. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. And we look forward to talking to you next time. Peace. This podcast is brought to you by Optical Illusions Photography and Media. Let us capture your best moments in the perfect way.